Welcome back to the show. We got a great one lined up. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on X, YouTube, and digperspectives.com for exclusive content. Right now, $3.53 trillion market cap for crypto. The market's off 3%, but everybody's pumped up, and I am too. 107,000 plus for Bitcoin, 2,600 plus for Ethereum, and XRP at the number 4 spots, $2.30. Now, we're flat on the 24. We're off 5.6 on the 7-day. Look at the range of price. We're ranging between 224 and 231. We'll keep an eye on it. Now, I want to tell you, today's the day. It's 0 days left and 17 hours until XRP Las Vegas 2025 begins. There is still time to get some tickets. The after party is sold out. The VIP is dangerously close to selling out. And there is still time to get GA tickets. 17 hours. Make the investment in yourself and come be a part of this incredible event that we have lined up for you. And it's all for you. No doubt about it. Let's get started here. We're going to start right here as a reminder. This is U.S. Treasury Secretary telling you exactly what this administration's thoughts are on digital assets.
If really we went big into stablecoin in this country, what effect could that have on the strength of the dollar? Because people might have to hold dollars in order to match against it, or even for treasuries.
Well, we are going big on digital assets. So Trump administration has made digital assets a priority. Past administration starved and almost made extinct a lot of these companies and pushed it offshore. So what we want to do is apply the highest U.S. regulatory and AML standards to digital assets, especially stable coins. And I've seen estimates that just over the short term, stable coins could create $2 trillion of demand for U.S. Treasuries and Treasury bills. To put that in context, the number is probably about $300 billion right now.
There you go. There you go. That's the strategy. Now let's go to this because you're going to love it. And here is J.D. Vance, the Vice President of the United States of America at Bitcoin Vegas yesterday morning, giving this speech. I tell you, things are really looking good for the digital asset space, ladies and gentlemen. Take a listen.
Crypto is a hedge against bad policymaking from Washington, no matter what party is in control. It's a hedge against skyrocketing inflation, which has eroded the savings rate of Americans over the last 4 years. And as you all know well, it's a hedge against a private sector that's increasingly willing to discriminate against consumers on the basis of their basic beliefs, including their politics.
Nailed it.
That includes, of course, debanking users for Second Amendment advocacy or for ties to the first Trump administration. In Canada, the government did the same to kill those big truck driver protests in 2022. Less than a week later, they succeeded. The protests were over. But maybe most importantly, I see crypto as a hedge against one of the most dangerous trends in the digital era in both the public and private sectors. And that's of elites who, rather than innovate themselves, prefer to simply take over and co-opt cutting-edge technologies to assert their control over other people. And I know we believe this in this room. That's not Bitcoin. It'll never be Bitcoin, and you guys are going to make sure that happens.
That's the Vice President of the United States of America. Now, what I will say to add to that is like, well, Bitcoin can be Bitcoin, but Bitcoin has been hijacked by Wall Street. So just understand that. Now, I'm loving it. They're embracing it, and this is great. And I go back to my adages on this channel that I've told you. I'm stacking my pennies next to their dollars. Who are they? Who are they? Well, they're the BlackRocks. They are the Fidelities. They are the Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan. They are the U.S. government now, right? And other governments around the world. So look, if enough people out here, we know what we know about all these assets, whether it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the work we've had to do through 4+ years of a SEC versus Ripple case, right? So we're not doing this from a maxi angle. We're looking at all the pros and cons from each different protocol and the tokens within. So knowing all of what we know, it is clear to me that we come back to, if enough people outside say it's nighttime, it won't matter that it's daytime. They're doing this. And if they're doing it, then that gives me confidence to maybe take the exposure in it as long as they're doing it. I'm not an emotional trader. I'm not a trader at all. I'm an investor. So I'm just throwing that out there for food for thought, because I'm about winning and building my portfolio. I don't need to be right about what I understand about the networks. I need to know that I'm correct in understanding these things. But at the end of the day, when I see those kind of entities taking a position, then I know that allows me to assess whether I want to or not. And that's not financial advice, just my digital perspectives. Now let's keep moving here, because that's fantastic. So there's that, the U.S. Treasury Secretary. And then we see this, money where your mouth is. The amount of money inbound for crypto market is almost unfathomable. This is Chad Steingraber posting here. The Trump administration acts as Biden-era barrier for crypto and 401k plans. This is an enormous amount of money that is going to have exposure to this digital asset market, whether it's through ETFs or otherwise in short term. This is a lot of money coming into the space. And RLUSD, the real USD, takes another exchange. We're proud to partner with Ripple to bring real USD to BitGet. And real USD is a fully regulated USD-backed stablecoin issued on the XRP ledger and Ethereum, and is now live on BitGet Spot. How about that? We're just, look, this is getting, all of this is like, I just see the way the news we're going to look at, the rest of this stuff, it just looks to me like a rollout. Like, yeah, we're getting everything in place that we've been working on for so long, right? And then when legislation hits, wow, I can't wait to find out what that's going to look like. So shout out to BitGet for getting with real USD. And then there's this, the U.S. Department of Treasury has highlighted the growing role of stablecoins in the Treasury market, as we showed, specifically Ripple stablecoin, real USD, USDT, and USDC. So the stablecoin race is on. The question is who will be the one that leads the pack to really become the one? Because I think that's how this is going to go eventually at some point. Just very quickly here, I feel like stablecoin issuance to private issuers is going to be this moment of learning how to bring the treasuries out of other countries so we don't have to worry about them dropping them, and getting the stablecoin issuers to hold said treasuries. So this way we have more confidence in backing of the real USD and digital dollars alike, stablecoins. And this will actually change the dynamic of not needing the petrodollar agreement, because this private stablecoin issuance, highly regulated, will cause more treasuries to be held than ever before, I believe. And that is going to be a very dominant strategy for the U.S. dollar for the next 150 years. So here we see Ripple talking about payments provider, fintech companies with global users face the same challenges, sending value cross-border fast at low cost and at scale. Our latest cross-border payments guide explores the nitty-gritty of the payment flow, delving into what's possible, what needs to be fixed, and what's next, which is really great. Now, we all know the rundown of all this, but I had to set the stage because Hidden Road, Ripple, Abu Dhabi. Take a listen. Pending final regulatory approval, Hidden Road will be authorized to offer clearing and prime brokerage services across its global suite of traditional and digital asset products to the institutional investors in the UAE. Institutional investors. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our moment. The institutions are coming. The institutions are coming. And this is super positive. Hidden Road launches digital asset swaps prime brokerage for the United States market. The launch of Hidden Road's digital asset swaps capabilities in the United States definitive agreement in April 2025 to be acquired by Ripple for $1.25 billion. With backing of Ripple's significant balance sheet, Hidden Road will exponentially expand its capacity to serve its pipeline and become one of the largest non-bank prime brokers globally. Yeah. Settling things for institutions that are coming. Vivo Power, announces XRP-focused digital asset treasury strategy and $121 million private placement priced at $6.05 per share above last market closing price under NASDAQ rules. Oh, my goodness gracious, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at it this way here from Good Morning America. Shout out to Abs and Johnny. I got to see them at Bitcoin Vegas. Vivo Power raises $121 million to launch the XRP's treasury strategy with Saudi royal backing. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse confirmed the NASDAQ-listed energy firm, one more time, the NASDAQ-listed energy firm aims to be the first public company with XRP focus. How about that? How about that? This is amazing what we're seeing happen. History's happening right before our eyes. Just to drill down on this, Vivo Power is believed to be the first publicly listed company in the world to launch an XRP-focused digital asset strategy that also encompasses the contribution to build out the XRP Ledger ecosystem for real-world decentralized finance blockchain solutions. XRP is expected to be one of the 5 digital assets that will be accumulated in the U.S. government as a part of President Trump's recently announced strategic Bitcoin reserve and United States digital asset stockpile. Shout out to Bank XRP. And here's the SEC filing, a Form 6K. This is all being said. It's all down in here, by the way, right? It's all right in here. You can see it. XRP focused treasury, It's all right there. So with that being said, this is super powerful. Now, I went to Grok and said, hey, Grok, just give me a short paragraph of the Vivo Power deal with XRP and why it's beneficial. And it says here, the Vivo Powered, a NASDAQ-listed energy company, raised $121 million, led by the Saudi prince, to establish the first publicly traded XRP-focused treasury strategy. The funds will primarily acquire XRP, build out the DeFi, right, and infrastructure on the XRP ledger, reduce debt, and support operations. This move benefits Vivo Power by diversifying its treasury with a high-potential digital asset, potentially increasing shareholder value, and positioning it as a pioneer in institutional XRP adoption. For XRP, it signals a growing institutional trust, enhances XRP Ledger's DeFi ecosystem, and could drive long-term value through increased adoption and real-world application like faster, cheaper cross-border payments. Everything we've wanted is happening right now. Very exciting to me. And we're on the precipice of getting legislation. They still want to get all the crypto legislation done by August recess and then have it on the president's desk to sign. With that being said, AgRad Crypto shows that bubble up here where we could go. You all know what it is. We're looking at it. That window between 10 and 25 or 28 bucks. You see the window. It's all right there. And then we have Dark Defender now, really reaffirming the same thing. He says XRP is forming a wave structure in a weekly time frame, creating the upcoming surge to $23. The new wave structure aligns with our previous targets and historical pattern in November of 24. XRP new weekly frame aims at $18.22 to $23.20 in the short term, and $5.85 will be remembered as the mid-target. I don't know what's going on here, but these technical analysts see this stuff, and I'm telling you, look, there's fundamental news, which is the news that's happening every day. Then there's the technical news, which is the news of the charts and what the charts are saying about the news that's happening every day. Now, we've seen these price targets talked about for years, but now we're at a moment where the fundamental news, the actual development of legislation and passing it and signing it, and the new partnerships and the new relationships, the new adoption, all of that fundamental news, I believe, has the opportunity to open up the technical analysis in the charts and for the first time make all these price targets a very, very real possibility. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. Come to XRPLasVegas.com, get your ticket, because I'd like to meet you. And I'd like you to be able to benefit from understanding what an amazing group of people will be here. And furthermore, the people that are on stage are planning to give you as much as they possibly can, and it will be remarkable. You will not regret it. No doubt about it. All right, not financial advice from me or anyone else. It's just my digital perspectives. I'll catch all of you in Las Vegas.